I'm going to talk this over with life coach, business coach, and advocate for women, Kelly Accetta, returning to WHO in Des Moines. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on, Jeff.
Kelly, I couldn't help when I was reading this article of thinking about how men in offices across America have tried to adjust to the Me Too movement. And do you see this in offices across America where a guy who's treated women badly said, hey, it's a balancing act. I've really been good to women in the past. Do you see this kind of attitude in a lot of guys?
It is really the exception to the rule. Most men are really making a concerted effort to treat women with respect and be professional. And it's just, it turns my stomach to hear him say this, because we all know, I do anyway. Come on, predators are predators. He only had this much to do with women, not because of some altruistic thing. He wanted to have a steady stream of women coming through his casting couch. That man was out to just be a predator.
I think that's a great point, that basically he's bragging now. He's reframing it as, I was really an innovator for women. I've made more movies directed by women and about women than any other filmmaker. But you're saying, look, we're about to have a trial. We're just going to find out he just wanted a steady stream of women. That's probably what you suspect, right?
That's what I suspect. And honestly, if you honor women and you respect women, you wouldn't treat them this way. It's not congruent. And it's also like saying, you're a great husband for 364 days of the year. You say, I'm a great husband. I'm a great husband. I open the door for my wife. I bring her flowers for no reason. I'm a great husband. But then you beat the heck out of her the last 365th day of the year. I'm so sorry. That negates the last 364.
Well, Kelly, you made a great point earlier. You said, look, I am not going to make a broad brush statement here. I'm saying that a lot of guys have examined their behavior in the office due to the Me Too movement. So I agree with you on that, but I do believe that there are guys who think that the trade-offs exist that you just articulated, that they're saying that overall I'm a pretty good person. So, if I get a little handsy in the lunchroom, that's okay. And I still think that we're trying to deal with that as a society. Am I overstating that, or do you think that is true?
No, that's absolutely true. And it goes for men and women in power. Just unfortunately, we're still in an era that not as many women hold powerful positions. But there are women that are just as guilty as the men. Is when you get to that place of power, you start forgetting that there are lines you don't cross. You think you're above the law. You think that, because all you're doing here justifies over here. No person that does something wrong thinks they always have a story to justify to themselves why that's allowable. And, that's where, thank God, the Me Too movement did come to light. And we do need to treat the men that are doing a great job with respect and understand that we are complex creatures as females. We all have our own set of boundaries that they're learning right now.
Yeah.
And to be patient and to give grace. But in the same regard, we needed to rout out the Harvey Weinsteins of the world and, just shed light on the fact that this is just not acceptable behavior in any regard, no matter who you are.
Right. And Kelly, you do a good job of talking about this is a power imbalance and it does affect men and women. But I do want to talk about the man-woman situation right now, because one of the things that makes me sad about thinking about the years before the Me Too movement is the women that had to put up with a lot of behavior and just had to smile and nod and take it. And in fact, the guys could tell themselves, they enjoy the attention or whatever to justify it. And it makes me sad that women had to tolerate it in order for them to advance in their careers. Are women being bolder now about speaking out when they're, as you said, you called them setting boundaries? Are they doing that in offices now?
They are. There's been some great companies that have been putting out fantastic curriculums to really help men and women understand and work together better. And it is having some positive impacts that I think we'll just see as the older generations retire out. the patting on the bottom or the kissing on the head or anything that's inappropriate like that. You just don't find that in the males in the millennial generation as much as you do in the older generation. So I think we're moving on a great path of understanding. But again, we as women, we don't want to put the men that we work with in a situation where they're walking on eggshells. And that's the best way to make sure they know what your boundaries are is just communicate, be respectful and communicate. If someone says an inappropriate word or an inappropriate joke, don't just lop their head off, just talk to them about it. And most people want to have a positive working relationship. Most people don't walk into their office with the intention of being rude to somebody or insulting someone. So again, it just goes back to positive communication.
No, I totally buy into that, the positive communication. Yet there's always going to be those guys, because you were bringing up the smacking on the bottom, Kelly, and you may have seen that video where there's a reporter doing a live report of a roadside race, and a male runner comes by and smacks her on the bottom, on camera. And I just think, man, there's always going to be some guys that don't get it. Am I being naive about that? There's always going to be some guys that don't get it.
There are always going to be those guys. There just are. And put a camera out there, and those guys tend to show up in greater numbers. People do stupid things when there's a camera around, and I think this guy is really going to be sorry.
He is really going to be sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an advocate for women, a life coach, and a business coach, and I really enjoy chewing over these topics with her. Her name's Kelly Accetta. Kelly, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks very much for talking to me about this topic today.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me on, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.